I call April 28th, 2025 City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes. Approval of minutes.
Move we approve the minutes of April 14th regular session.
Second. I'm trying to figure where all the noise is.
Yeah.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes. First resolution is bill number 2025-22, a resolution of the City of Mexico, Missouri, authorizing the hiring of professional grant writing and administrative services to seek funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program for demolition of the Hardin Gym on behalf of Presser Hearts Center. Reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. You may remember this from about 6 months or so ago. Well, actually 9 months, I guess, when we looked at trying to help Presser out with demolishing this gym. We were unsuccessful at that time of getting the grant in the 24 years, so it's time to take a look and see what we can do under this year. And to cover the details is Nathan Lombardo.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Very quickly, like the city manager said, this is a potential grant application or future grant application to cover a grant that was applied for previously but denied. So we're using our ability to apply for CDBG funding to help the Presser Center with the potential demolition of the old gym on their property. We are, in this resolution, asking the council to authorize us to have the Mark Twain Regional Council do the application for us. We feel that their experience in getting grant money awarded successfully, and their expertise in this area just makes it an easier and better and more likely process for us. This did go out to bid, and we got two bids, and one was just flat out not competitive with the other one, so that's why we're choosing to go with Mark Twain. There would be no cost to this. Any cost of the grant management, should they be awarded, would be paid for through the grant monies, and any additional costs or surprises would be paid for by Presser. So, low risk opportunity for us.
I move for reading of bill number 2025-22.
I have a question.
Second. Hold on, Davey.
We get questions first or after?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay. In the event that it is not awarded, that $16,000, is that going to be Presser's responsibility?
Yes, they're on the hook for everything.
Okay.
And I don't believe there's any, if we don't get the money, I don't believe there's any cost, because Mark Twain would get the money. Anything that they would charge for managing the grant would be paid for as part of the grant itself.
Right, if they're awarded the grant.
Yes.
It would be folded in there.
Correct.
That's the way I read it as well, but if they don't get the grant.
Yeah, there's no
then
risk to us.
Presser bears the responsibility
Correct.
to pay for it.
Correct.
The $16,000.
Yes.
Okay.
You have a motion and a second.
Yeah. Also, yep, that's what I thought.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes. Do we need passage?
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. We got so busy, I forgot. Bill number 2025-22, a resolution for the City of Mexico, Missouri, authorizing the hiring of professional grant writing and administrative service to seek funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program for demolition of the Hardin Gym on behalf of Presser Arts Center. I move for passage of bill number 2025-22.
Second.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes. Next, bill number 2025-23, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept permanent construction easements for North Kentucky Street Stormwater Improvement Project being part of ARPA grant number DNR SW 745E73C59FEE, reading by title only and passages. Yeah, okay. 24 part of that as well.
Right, but what we will do, council, is try to do one presentation.
Okay.
Because all of these next resolutions deal with easements, either permanent and or temporary, for each of the ARPA stormwater grants.
Okay.
It just is different projects, such as the one on North Kentucky and then the different areas. So, to cover the different areas and what we're asking for here, Greg Sewell with the Engineering Department.
Good evening, council. As you're aware, the city has executed temporary construction easements for our ARPA stormwater projects. We now have easements necessary for the stormwater project to commence on North Kentucky Street. As an evaluation for right-of-way was conducted and determined that both temporary construction and permanent drainage easements were needed for construction. The permanent drainage easements were needed to grant Mexico access and maintain the new drainage infrastructure, and temporary constructions are needed along several lots for final grading. And all the necessary permanent drainage easements for North Kentucky have been executed. We still have 2 remaining temporary construction easements unsigned. However, these are not critical for construction to commence, and we have been advised by Missouri DNR that we can proceed with construction. So staff recommends that council proceed with reading and by title and only patches of attached resolutions authorizing acceptance of temporary construction easements and permanent drainage easements for North Kentucky Street Stormwater Improvement Project.
Pleasure of the council.
Do you want to? I move for reading of bill number 2025. Do you want me to do all of these then?
No, do them all
we have to
separate.
do them all.
All got to be separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bill number 2025-23.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Bill number 2025-23, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept permanent construction easements for the North Kentucky Street Stormwater Improvement Project being part of the ARPA grant number DNR-SW-745E73C59FEE. I move for passage.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. So we can jump into 24,
We
right?
can go right, if you want another presentation, we can do it, or we can go right down the
we can
list.
go right into
Keep
24.
reading it.
I move for reading bill number 2025-24, a resolution authorizing the city manager of Mexico to accept a temporary construction easement on North Kentucky Street Stormwater Project.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Bill number 2025-24, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept temporary construction easements for the North Kentucky Street Stormwater Improvement Project being part of ARPA grant DNR-SW-745E73C59FEE. I move for passage of Bill 2025-24.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. Do you have to do a different one since this is Curtis Street?
We have to do a different resolution, but it's the same kind of presentation. If you want to hear it again, we can.
No, that's fine.
For reading by title only, bill number 2025-25.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Bill 2025-25, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept temporary construction easements for the Curtis Street Stormwater Improvement Project being part of ARPA grant number DNR-SW-745E73C59FEE. Move for passage of 2025-25.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. 26 at our pleasure.
You want to try?
Oh, sure. I move for first reading of the bill number 2025-27.
26.
26.
Oh, I skipped one. I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
26.
You're in a hurry.
Second.
Now you can read it.
No.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Bill number 2025-26, a resolution authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to accept temporary construction easements for stormwater improvements at the West Love Street and North Abbott Street intersection, being part of ARPA grant number DNR-SW-E6ACFOD6A299 reading for passage. Move for passage. There you go. Thank you.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. Bill number 2025-27, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for recommended funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, the Tourism Commission has met, and they have recommendations for funding, and to cover those recommendations, Vicki Dinky, Finance Director.
Good evening, council. Shifting gears from the easements, we have tourism tax funding, as mentioned. There were 3 proposals at our meeting, but one was tabled, and the 2 that were passed unanimously are mentioned here, both for the Ridgeway Group and their George Michael Reborn event. They did not have a specific amount specified, but the council, or the commission, had a recommendation of $1,000 based on the scope of their advertising plans. And then the Mexico Jaycees made their request for the 2025 Soybean Festival, and they had a requested amount of $5,050, and the commission agreed with that recommendation and went with that. So staff recommends that council concur with the commission and proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution. Any questions?
Was there, previous year, was there quite a bit of people asking for money from the tourism tax? How'd last year look? Pretty good?
It was okay, yeah. We monitor several years' worth of activity with the tourism group, and they've been pretty open-minded depending on kind of the scope of the events and what types of plans people are having. So they always welcome applications. If they of course like them to be received 3 months in advance and to be typed. So it gives a fair shot at making sure the advertising dollars are working to give people a chance to plan to be at certain events. So, and gives time for all this stuff to happen with approval.
Well, I mean, I think it's great. I see a pretty big balance, and I'm like, seems like, I mean, we have a lot of stuff here. I just, you said, hoping people know that that's there and they can take advantage of it.
Walk back in time, that changed the scope of some of the funding flow with the tourism tax. We went several years ago where that was an event that was held every year, and now it's only held every other year. So they will make their request probably in the next month or so, and we'll see about getting them funded with some dollars. But
That's this year, isn't it?
yes, it is. It should be held this fall in September.
Good. Pleasure of the council.
I move for reading of bill number 2025-27.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Bill number 2025-27, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreement with various organizations for recommended funding from the Mexico tourism tax. I move for passage of bill 2025-27.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes. Other business, staff report, independent audit services. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, every, God, I forgot the time. Was it
4 years?
4 years? We go out for proposals for audit services, and we seek those for proposals, and we've done that again this year. And to cover the proposals received and the recommendation, once again, Vicki Dinky.
On February 12th, we advertised a request for proposal and distributed that request to 8 accounting firms that are known to provide governmental accounting and auditing services. The RFP outlined the city's intent to secure an auditing firm for the purpose of performing our annual audit, any major program audits required under the Single Audit Act, and any assistance, and provide assistance in preparation of the annual comprehensive financial report for a 4-year period, beginning with the fiscal year that we are in now, September 30th, 2025. Responses were due by March 27th. 3 responses were received from the following firms: Williams Keepers out of Columbia, Missouri, Hood and Associates out of Mexico with their audit being managed out of their Kansas City branch, and Sikich, a firm out of St. Louis. The RFP responses were reviewed for several factors, including but not limited to their governmental auditing experience, including their ACFR preparation, their audit approach, staffing, relevant references, training, structural and visual appeal of their final products, and their proposed fees. All of the accounting firms are very well qualified for governmental audits, and they very comparable in overall pricing for the 4-year engagement. A summary of those factors considered has been prepared and is attached in the reports that you have in front of you, and the public can see that the approach taken to select the firm which best meets the city's requirements for an annual independent audit and professionally prepared ACFR that matches up with the high standards intended. It is the opinion of city staff Williams Keepers has a competitive edge with their proposal when comparing the 3 firms in respect to overall audit approach, the comprehensive scope of services included with preparing the ACFR, training that they offer to our staff with annual updates on the GASB standards, on-site audit field work, and significant time savings from staff inherent with sticking with the same firm. Staff recommends to council to accept Williams Keepers' proposal for auditing services for fiscal years 2025 through 2028.
What is a single audit fee?
So single audits are required when there's over $750,000 worth of federal grant funds. There's been a little exception to that, a footnote to that, because of all that ARPA funding that came out of the stimulus package. So the last handful of years, they've allowed us to do an alternative compliance exam. Doesn't kick us into that realm. But with all of the ARPA grants, of which you just passed all the easements, those being $7.5 million roughly, we're going to be in the single audit bucket for a while. We're going to be in that boat at least for the next 2 to 3 years, because as we see those expend those funds, where the auditors perform additional testing on our use of the grant funds to make sure that it's all in compliance with the federal rules. And then we have to submit that to federal authorities when we complete our financial report.
Okay.
Under audit approach, what's 5-phase, 7-step, 3-phase? What's all that stuff mean?
It's just kind of the way their proposals broke down, their methodology. A lot of them are all accomplishing the same thing. It's typical planning, and it's a scope of services and how they're going to plan for it and do some interim field work, and then they come for field work and their review of it, and some of them just break it down different. I mean, it was just a measure of making sure that their process was thorough.
I move for reading of bill number 2025-20.
No, it's not a bill.
Just a staff report.
Excuse me. I move to accept the Williams Keepers proposal.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Williams, Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
We got 6 members now?
Sounds like an old claims.
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig.
Yes. Council comments. Councilman Ray, second meeting. We'll go with you first.
I really don't have any. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Councilman Briggs.
I don't really have anything at the moment either.
Okay. Councilman Miller.
I'm just living the dream, can't do anything better.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Councilman Weber.
I never have anything to say.
Twist my arm.
I got to be part of Arbor Day, so that was good. The park department over in Hardin, that was really nice. Beautiful day over there, and appreciate the staff getting it all ready to go. Hopefully a lot of people showed up. I had to get back to work. That's not a fun thing, but went back, and that was nice. Today did the Exercise Tiger. That was gave a welcoming, and that was a very nice time over there, seeing that, and great to hear all the stories, and the military guys talked, and they can give you more in-depth stuff. So that's it. That's all I have. Mr. Slagle.
I have nothing this time, Your Honor.
Okay. All righty.
Moving the meeting.
We'll bring it up next week.
Public comments. If there is anybody in the public that wants to give comments, come to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Not seeing any?
Mr. Mayor, but can I ask one question?
Okay, go ahead.
I noticed that Matt Pilger is leaving the radio station and going to Learfield or something like that.
Yes, he's going to cover the Capitol.
Pardon?
Cover the Capitol.
Yeah. Are we still have this?
Yes,
Thing?
yes. I think Michael Doherty's going to do that. You're tomorrow, though, right?
I'm tomorrow.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah. So he contacted me thinking I was in, and I said, no, Councilman Briggs has it, so go from there. But that's about it.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes. Adjourn.